Hello everyone, welcome to a start of a series I'm going to try to do called the art class, Ivy's art class. That's pretty self-explanatory, I guess, but this is the start of something that will continue for years and years until we finally hit a great spot. So, let's start off with the simple stuff like shapes. I did that one a bit wrong there, but you get it. You might want to get a bit... I swear I'm not this bad at drawing. You might want to get a bit good at shapes before you start drawing stuff. You see, that's perfect. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Said I'm going to have to erase this later. But you might want to draw some stuff like this. You might want to get used to drawing. Maybe use one of these at the start. I forgot if it's a pen or a pencil. Yeah, it's a pencil. You might want to start off with a pencil first because you can erase with these bad boys and, make everything perfect. I do recommend doing the strategy where you, let's say, draw something a bit long like that. You can just erase it, maybe you have one part that's perfect, you can erase that, and then, boom, perfect. But I recommend drawing, get started with shapes, stuff like this. I recommend drawing it now, pause the video, do that, I'll be waiting for you. Okay, welcome back. So now that we've drawn our shapes here, let's give them a bit of character. Just draw one line here, and go a bit like that, and then draw one line there. Make sure you want them even, though I haven't done that yet, erase the line right here, and then add a line right there. You've created a face. This face is going to be the sort of something, right? Right, you agree, yes, you. But this is a face, or at least what it's supposed to be. You can add extra details like your little stupid nose there. Not stupid, just a little nose there. But I recommend just drawing the eyes, the mouth, and the nose first. And then we'll work on the rest. Let's draw something for the circle. Since the square is a line, this is where you have character development, but we aren't going to really do that right now. You have you have the eyes and stuff and the mouth. Let's give that to the circle. And then let's give that to this deformed circle. Then this pyramid. Now, as you see, none of them have any different faces than just normal. See, with drawing characters, you want to give them emotion. The character, So, let's try something different than this plain old face. Let's draw a square. See that? I messed up. Let's just get rid of this. So then, we can fix it again. Perfect, right? Right. But, let's draw something different than just a little sad, just boring face. How about instead we draw two eyes, a nose, except we add a happy face. Look at that. Now he's happy instead of just, bored or whatever. I don't know what that facial expression is, but it definitely is a facial expression. Now, you can add some extra details to him, but we'll get into that later. Now that you have your, your line of arsenal, you might want to just do that for the rest of them. Add some smiles to the whole entire room. I don't care if you, just, have one of these old ones and then you just erase the face on them and make it different. It's okay. But I want you to choose one of these guys and circle them. I'm going to pick this guy because he's happy. So circle this. Circle the thing that you want to use as whatever. So once you circle that, I want you to kind of put a name above him. This is going to be all about character creation, stuff like that. But make up a name. It doesn't have to necessarily be anything. This is optional, though will come in handy later in episode 3 or 4. I'm going to choose the name for this guy to be, how about Mr. Gray? Obviously not a very fitting name for his happy smile. Grammar mistake. Ooh. But anyway, choose a character. It doesn't have to be anyone. You can draw a new one, maybe give them a different facial expression. But for now, we are working with 2 facial expressions. So once you choose a character, as you can see from here, yes, you have chosen one, I want you to, make him again. Let's put out this piece of paper. Let's draw them again. So let's draw Mr. Gray here. And then let's draw his happy face. You might want to put the name here just in case you forget. So I'm going to put Mr. Gray. So now that you've done that, you have an arsenal of things that you can do. But here's the one thing that I suggest you doing. Draw him with different facial expressions. So let's draw Mr. Gray again, right here. Give him that, the nose. Oop, missed that. And then let's give him a sad face instead of a happy one. Now he's sad. He had a bad day maybe. Bad day at work. Let's draw him again. This time with a... what's this? What? Surprised look. For that, you just draw a little circle right here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I'll let you do that. Pause the video. Maybe do that. You can just draw these 3, and you can add the neutral one if you want to. If you want to, that is optional. So, pause the video and get back to me when you have drawn all the 3 facial expressions. Alright, it seems that you've drawn the 3 facial expressions. So now, we will draw a character for him. Yes, I know, insane. First, let's practice a little bit. Maybe just do this as a start. Now you may be like, you're just starting this. Wow, this is kind of like baby stuff. It's okay, the baby stuff can help you learn. So we have this little thing here, and these are called stick figures. Stick figures. So once you have one of these down, you can then draw Mr. Gray's face on top of it. So we're just going to do normal ones like boop, then give him arms, then give him legs. See? Pretty normal. Then with the sad one, I want you to do, the body, the legs, except something different. He's kind of has his hands down because he's sad. And with the excited one, you have all these. You have the happy one, he's just pretty, hey, look at that, normal day. And then he's sad because he has his arms down and, the face. Then with the surprised one, let's add his arms going up onto his face because when you're surprised, you go like, oh, you know what I mean? And then you add the legs. And then boom, look at that. You have character development. Now that we have our Mr. Gray here, we are going to give him a little bit of details, if you will. Now this is kind of hard to do for beginners, so let's draw a stick figure over here. This is just a normal stick figure, nothing odd about it, nothing strange, nothing like that. But what if you add a little circle right here? Doesn't really look like anything, but if you add this, and then this, it's kind of like a bow tie. Then you can add this, and then that, and then that, and boom, look at that. It's hands and legs, or feet, you know what I mean? So, pretty normal looking. And then we can add Mr. Gray's face here. He's feeling pretty fancy about himself, so we're going to give him shades. And a little face like, yeah, I feel good. And now that you have all your characters here, I want you to pick another character from here. It doesn't have to be necessarily just pick the Circle Man. I want you. Let's get ourselves a new piece of paper here. Which one shall we use? This. I want you to draw the circle guy, which we're going to name. Let's name him Mrs. White. That sounds a bit but we're going to, I want you to draw Mr. Gray and Mrs. White having a conversation. And how do you do this? Well, we're going to use these things, these three little lines. Nothing peculiar, nothing special about them. But here's the thing. With these lines, you can add Mr. Gray's face right here, then a mouth going like that. Or you can just do the usual. It'll show a sign that he's talking by doing this. He's going, ba, ba, ba. You know what I mean? No, probably not, but if you do, that's great. So we're going to get rid of these little things. Let's say it's just him having an excited face. But if you add these three lines, it has a whole different emotion, talking. Now this is going to be the main part of developing a character. Now, I want you to, just draw Mr. Gray here with the talking things. Pause this video if you have to, and I'll see you when, you come back. Welcome back! Now that you've done this, or, Mr. Gray with these three little lines here, I want you to draw Mrs. White with a normal face. Maybe a bit surprised. You know what? Let's just get rid of this. Perfection doesn't have to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist. So let's just draw this. And then her talking. And then Mr. Gray sitting there. Just like Mrs. Gray is talking to Mr. Gray, as you can see here. And it's kind of just, her talking to him. But if you get rid of Mr. Gray's face here, and turn it into a whole face. And do this, to where they're having a conversation. Kind of looks like they're arguing, but okay, a bit iffy. They're having a conversation. And that's where we're kind of going here. Now, I want you to draw stick figures on top of these heads. Make sure you make them a bit different to give them some conversation or some character, but maybe we'll get to that next episode. So, let's just do this. You want to always have the stick figure under the mouth. So, or always in the middle. So, you see where these three lines are? This is the nose, and then right below, under the head, you add the stick figure. The mouth can be right there. You don't do that. Always underneath the nose. The nose always stays in one part for now. So let's just get rid of this. And then you have, these two characters having a conversation. Let's just give them, bodies. And like I said, give them a bit of character. You don't have to do it, but it gets you extra brownie points. So I'm just going to draw Mr. Gray like this. He's pretty normal. Give him the little hands, little feet. And then we'll draw Mrs. Circle here with circular feet. And then circular hands. You don't have to do this, but it does get you extra brownie points if you do. So, now that we've drawn this, they're pretty normal looking for, no particular reason. Now, we are going to add them having, just, they're having a conversation now. They're normal. They're having a complete normal conversation. But, if you add this, they'll be arguing, which means they'll be probably fighting over one person's opinion. So Mrs. Gray here is arguing about how circles are better than squares. Square here is arguing about how squares are better than circles. And that's kind of where the argument starts. And now, since you've done this, I want you to, I don't know, whatever you want here. You can draw whatever you want here. You can draw whatever you want on this piece of paper, like doo-doo, but anything works. Since you've drawn this now, we are going to slightly improve the development, if you will. So let's just switch over to this piece of paper right here. Right there. And now, since we have a fresh new piece of paper, it's normal, it's fresh, I see it's clean. We will draw something else instead. We will draw Mr. Gray sitting down we're just sitting down midair, since next episode we're going to do objects. He's having a nice time. And then we are going to do that instead of just the plain old that. We are going to draw them with their legs out like that, so it looks like, they're kind of sitting down. So now that he's sitting down, I want you to just draw a square under him. That's it. I'll give you time to do this. Alright, it seems you have done it. And now, that's what I kind of want you to do. But now, draw Mrs. What was her name again? We'll just say Mrs. Circle. Right here, sitting down as well. She's pretty happy. Pretty happy, I said. There we go. And she's going to be sitting down too. Except this time, draw her on a circle, as you can see here. And if you want to fill them in, that's fine. I don't really care. So now that you've made them both sit down, I want you to draw them talking to each other. So we're just going to draw the lines here. And then we draw the talking mouth. And then we get this and we draw the talking mouth. Now that you've done this just, they're having a normal conversation. And now, I want you to draw something like that right here. It's kind of like a table. You know how you go to a restaurant and you have a conversation with someone and, you're waiting for your food. That's kind of like this. Except they have some food, we're just going to make it that. And now you have a basic conversation thing. And that's all I kind of want you to do for this time. So I'll see you probably next episode, episode 2, where we're going to talk about more character development, kind of, and more object development. Or if you want me to speak in normal terms, we might work on more character progress in the next episode, or, practice drawing some normal stuff, like things that you pick up, like this pencil, or, the thing that you're writing on. Anything like that. I'll see you next episode. Goodbye.